Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Canadian Starships Saturday night live stream. As always, a little bit of housekeeping duty first. Good evening, Ken. Welcome to the stream. If you can hear me, see me, everything looks good, please let me know in the chat so that I know that we are good to go. Tonight we are going to be looking at creating masks for the windows of the 650 scale Enterprise D project. So that is what we are going to do. I got a thumbs up from Ken. That means that everything should be good audio and visually, audioally and visually, or audio and visual wise. This is going to be an interesting stream if I can if I'm already kind of stumbling over my words. So I haven't done anything to deal with masks yet for the kits, so we're going to do all of that literally on stream tonight. I don't know how far we'll get. I'm a little bit tired this evening, so I don't want to be going for too long tonight. But we are going to see what we can do. So if you are joining us on live stream, let me know that you're here by leaving a message in the chat. That way I know who I'm talking to all night. All right. We are going to get started with a kit part, I guess. And I've got both kits worth of parts sitting on the back bench. So let me switch over to the bench view, which is currently not working properly. Okay. Let me fade back to me and let me just reacquire that camera. Give me one moment to do that. Sometimes it drops out. All right. I think I've got it back. Just putting it back where I like it to go in my software here. One moment. And let's see. There we go! We've got a saucer and we've got moving hands. That is all good stuff. All right. So, first thing I have to do is start taking measurements for windows. Now, so I've got two kit sets worth of parts here. So I've got both Enterprise Ds. Now on this one here, which is just exactly the same, I'm going to move my screen here over here out of the way. So they're identical parts, but this one on top here has all of the windows filled in with solar res, minus the bridge dome and the conference lounge. I've got to figure out what I want to do as far as filling these in so that they are visible so you can see inside, because we're going to try to put some parts in. But this one is essentially ready for window masks, but we're going to use this one for measuring because I can see the windows a little bit clearer on this, given that there is no microcrystal, not microcrystal clear, but solar res. These are the only set of 6 windows that have solar res in them on this copy of the kit so far, because I use this to demonstrate it in my video. So let's get working. First thing we're going to do is take some window measurements. Now I am assuming that all of these, let me make myself a little bit more space here to put this. I'm assuming that all of these larger, so all these windows should be roughly the same size, but I'm going to take, okay, it's zeroed. I'm going to take a couple measurements just to be sure. I'm going to take my glasses off, get right down close, so I make sure I'm seeing it right. All right. So these should be 6.9 millimeters tall. Mark that down. Ken says, Andrew, what color do you paint the phaser strips? I am not sure exactly what color they are going to be yet. I have not made that decision, but I will definitely make sure that I communicate that once I figure out what it is. All right, so these are 6.9 millimeters tall. And these are 1.07 millimeters wide. 1.07 millimeters wide. Okay, making notes so that we can go in to the cutting program and make some masks. And hey Todd, welcome, welcome. Let me grab my keyboard back and let me switch over to my Silhouette Cameo 4 Silhouette Studio, which is where I am doing my mask creation. So let's just grab that screen here. I'm gonna sit on my stool. It's gonna be a little bit more comfortable. And we're gonna start. Now these are pretty much just rectangles. And I know in the ship they are rounded on the tops and bottoms. On the outside of the ship they're not really. So I'm not going to worry about that, because even on the studio model, let's see here, studio model, studio model, even on the studio model they're really rectangles. So I'm assuming that they used rectangle masks when they did this. So if the studio model is rectangles and the kit is rectangles, I'm making rectangles because that is nice and easy. So let's see, we're gonna make a rectangle, and we're gonna make it, what did I say, 1.07 wide. I'm gonna zoom this in a little bit so I can see better what I'm doing. All right. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. These are going to be narrow little things. 1.07. Actually, let me get my length first, which is 6.9. 6.9. I'm going to do it the quick and easy way. Width is going to be 1.07. And I'm going to unlock aspect ratio. Length is going to be 6.9. And that should be what I need for the main parts of those windows. This is why it is so easy to make your own window masks for these kind of things, because doing this can be quite simple. You just need the cutting machine and the software to do it. Now I'll need to cut this out and test it and make sure that it is all good, but I don't want to just cut out and test one window. So let me, make sure that you guys can see this. I'm assuming that if you're on a phone or something like that, you really can't see this very well. My apologies to you. Let me, that's the wrong one. Alt and scroll. All right. Here we go. So this is essentially our window, and I have found that putting them all together doesn't cut very well, at least on the Cameo 4. So I am going to just So I'm going to copy this one. I'm going to paste it. I'm going to paste it next to it. I'm going to paste another one in and put it here, but I'm going to leave a blank spot between. I've just found, and I don't know why, I have no idea why, but I found that my Cameo prints better doing it this way. All right. I'm just looking over at my Cameo right now. It's pretty close to the bench here, and I just realized that I don't have the cutter installed on the back of it right now. I think it was giving me some trouble before, so. All right, let me get a couple of these in here. And I'm not going to be doing this forever. So I'm going to select all. And I'm going to paste a larger section in here. I'll delete this one. Select all again. Copy it. Paste a larger one. And essentially, essentially I'm going to do this. Ah! Why won't it let me select it? Here we go. Okay. Ah! What is going on here? That is weird. Let me just do this. Select all. Oh, there's... Okay. There's some weird artifacts down here. Let me get rid of that. And that's probably what's doing it. Okay. There we go. It's working now. And also, if I hold it closer, it snaps to. And I grabbed the wrong one here. So, Ken says, do. Okay, I'll do. I will do. I'm assuming that he pressed enter a little bit too soon there. That's what I'm going to guess. All right, as we get going here, it takes less and less time to do this. Still on do, Ken. Can't see what you've typed yet. All right. Now we're getting to the edge of what would be a 8.5 by 11 sheet, which would be denoted by the gray line around here. But we're actually using 14-inch vinyl, I believe. Somewhere around there. So we're going to the red line with this. Okay. And we're just going to trim off these that we don't need. And now we have a, let me zoom out here a bit. Okay, so Ken says, sorry, you can imagine that I did press the enter by accident. You already answered my question. Okay. I'd still love to know what your question was. I'd love to know what I answered. All right. Okay. So I'm going to turn, bear with me for a quick moment here. I'm going to make sure the machine's ready to go. Having a hard time putting the cutter back on the end of it, on the back of it. This is the cutter. It's not going on right now because I'll just cut it manually on the bench here. That's fine. All right. Let's see. Hey Andrew, love the piano playing. Thank you. That was kind of, I was tired of doing Windows today and decided to do something else. Ken says he's a man of many talents. Thank you. That's appreciated. It was just kind of a fun thing to do. There's no kids in the house right now, so I can do a few other things that I wouldn't normally be able to do. My wife returns home tomorrow. My kids, I go pick them back up from the in-laws on Thursday. All right, so we're gonna send this, and I like to bring my speed right down. Although I need to check these settings up here. Vinyl matte, auto. Okay, that's good. I'm just gonna bring my speed down, and all things being equal, this should print me some window masks. All right. Now, obviously, these are just one set of one type of window on this kit, and there's going to be a lot more that we need to cut. So, while that is cutting, I'm going to cut back to Facecam, and I can pay attention a little bit to the chat. If there's anybody there who wants to chat. I've got a couple screens going on here, and it can be challenging to find out exactly where the mouse is. So we've got seven people streaming right now. So if you're streaming, let me know. I'm gonna bring my microphone a little bit closer to me right now, just because it's probably loud with the cutter cutting. I usually don't like having this in frame, but that's fine. This will be a little bit better. So if you are watching, let me know by leaving a message in the chat so that I know who I am talking to. I don't know everybody's actual names based on their username yet. I am horrible with, I am absolutely horrible with names. So we've got, let's see. We've got Steve Copsey saying, yep, I am here. Thank you for letting me know that you are here. Bring back that old school dot matrix print sound vibe. Indeed. Hands up in the chat if you had a dot matrix printer back in the day. So I did high school in the 90s. I started in 93, ended in 99. We had 5 years of high school. We had grade 13, and all my high school assignments were printed on dot matrix printer, and I would procrastinate and do my work late at night, and apparently Todd is just an illusion, everybody. He's not really here. He is just an illusion. So, holographic form, maybe? I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, all my high school assignments were done on dot matrix printer, and I would work late at night. I would half the time work in the evening till 9 o'clock, get home. I'd do my homework, and if I had any assignments that had to be printed, I would probably have to wait till the next morning to print my homework assignments because the printer in my room way too loud to be able to print because I'd wake up other people in the house. So those are my memories of the dot matrix printer. Yeah. And of course, this makes that noise, similar noise too. So we're just waiting on that to print. I just decided to print a line because I'm going to waste that vinyl anyway, even if they don't fit. And if it fits, which it should, because as long as all the cutting alignments and everything are right, Everything should fit because I took the precise measurements with the caliper. But just in case, I mean, I'm cutting the line anyway, and if they fit, I want to be able to make use of those particular masks that I just cut. So that's what's going on here. I'm just gonna see how far along it is here. Oh, it's not doing too bad. It's almost near the end of cutting that line. So we should have some masks to look at here shortly. Let me prepare the desk here so that I can cut those masks. Alright, I've got a straight edge. I got a number 11 blade. So I took my I took my cutter off because vinyl was getting stuck in it, and it's being finicky about going back into place right now. So that's what's going on with that. Bert, yeah. Just that nice cutting, sound. All right. And Todd is a Sasquatch, and they are indeed the hide-seek world champions. Okay. All right there. So that printer should be done any moment. I thought about putting it on the back desk so you could see the printer and everything like that, but it actually probably wouldn't cut all that well. Sounds like it might be done. Let me grab it, and I'll have to cut it the hard way. Okay. Let me get that up and out of the way. Let me swap back to desk view here. And you're probably not going to be able to see very well yet. I'll hold it up to I will hold it up to the printer. That's not a printer. That's a camera. I'll hold it up to the camera. Once I get it cut off here, I really want to get that cutter reinstalled. But I think that's going to be an off-camera job. But I can still cut it that way. I've got lots of vinyl on the roll because I'd ordered a whole brand new roll of this stuff when I was working with Wayne over at Motion Picture Miniatures to deal with the Aztec masking set for this. But he was able to get his hands on a kit so that he could actually get it done a lot easier than going back and forth across the ocean. So stick this over here, and let me grab a little part. Okay, one little saucer to test these on. And you know what? Let me grab the other little saucer here. Let me grab a pair of forceps or tweezers or whatever. And let me put this on. Try one of these over top. Where'd it go? There it is. Oh no, this is not the one I want right now. This is the one that has all the windows filled in. Let me put that back over here. I want to test this on one of the spots where there is no resin filled. Okay. And I can actually put this on here, because these are resin filled. Just these couple up here. I can tell you right now, besides the fact that there's a little spot on this window that needs to be scraped off. They need to be ever so slightly longer. Ever so slightly longer. So let me do a little bit more measuring here. So I said 6.9. Let me bring this back to 6.9. If I can get it exactly on 6.9. 6.9 what I'll have to do. So it must have cut just a little bit short. Okay, let me go back to 0, 0, 6.9. Oh, I had it. .9. Let me measure. No, it says it's 6.9. I'm going to try another piece because it should fit. All things being equal, it should fit. I understand not everything is equal. Should fit. Now maybe that one window is just a little bit taller. Okay. I think we have a winner. I think we have a winner. Not that you're really going to be able to see it, because it'll just look like all the other windows. Actually, I have an idea. I have a flashlight here. And let me shine light through. And you should be able to see that dark window. That's the window mask. So, I think we pretty much got that window first off right out of the gate. So I'm not ready to put window masks on this kit yet. So I'm going to take that off. And we're going to go back to our Silhouette Studio. We're going to go back to design. And we are going to save this. Let's go 650D. Let's go. Let's see if this will let us create a new folder here. Window masks. And we're going to call this upper saucer main windows 01, just in case we make any adjustments. All right, let's start a brand new. And I will eventually compile all these into one cutting one page, or whatever you want to call it. I will eventually put it all into one for cutting as a whole set. But as I develop them, I like to do one thing on one page and save it, and then I'll copy everything over and arrange things on the page the way I want them to be. So let's zoom in. so that we're able to see what we're doing. And we are going to deal with the next windows. So, move. These parts are big enough that they are sometimes a pain to move around. So, that was super simple windows. But we do have other windows on here to do. We have these windows around the area just under the bridge. We've got these windows up here, the windows on the front here. These ones are going to be interesting shapes and such, so those ones will be fun to do. We've got a few larger ones and fun-sized ones up here. The angled ones are, I mean, they're easy enough to do, but just getting them to fit right is fun. But I think I'm going to work on the Arboretum windows right now, because that's a little bit more challenging to get those right than, say, the main windows, which were super easy. We did them first off. Now, they're not too hard. I just have to measure each individual set size of windows separately, get them made up, make sure that they match, and get them cut. So there's 1, 2, 3 different sizes of window openings here for the Arboretum windows. So let's get right at that. First, we're gonna do. I don't have anywhere to put my foot up because all my milk crates are taken up at the moment. Let's see. Actually, I have an idea. Just give me one moment. All right. Found a little stool I can put my feet up on while I do this. All right, let's grab the caliper. Let's bring it back to 0. I'm gonna move this cutting tool out of the way so I can move the saucer. The saucer's too big. All right. Make sure this is zeroed out. I'm gonna measure. Let me actually first throw this back. Where's my mouse? Here we go, so you can see what I'm doing. And Dash says, anyone going to tell him his screen is not showing what he's doing? Yep, that's quite normal. Losing track of what's up on screen, that's normal. And PJ Lewis says, hi Andrew and everyone in the chat. Hello. Welcome to the stream. For those who are just arriving, we are making window masks for this little kit, the 650 scale Enterprise D. We've gotten the main window masks cut. Oh, I said I was going to show this. There. Let's see if I can get the angle of the light right so you can see it. But you might be able to see all the little window masks there. Let's see. Todd says maybe make a grid for the Arboretum and cut out just the windows. Yeah, I've already done this on the 1000 scale. So I have a good idea. Like, as far as making rectangles on the screen is like super easy. So I'll probably just make rectangles, the right size rectangles. That's probably what I'm going to do. All right. So, zeroed out. Let's get this measured. I'm going to call that 3.88 in height. And it's the same top and bottom. So 3.88 tall. And so all of these, top and bottom, are going to be tall, the same tall. They're going to be the same tall, everybody. They're going to be the same height. And then all of these in a line here are going to be the same width. I'm going to call that at 1.69. Okay, and that's going to be 10 on each arboretum section. So let's create a new rectangle, and let's call that, what did I say? Keyboard. Let's call that 3.88. And let's call that 1.69. And I did that in the wrong orientation. So we're going to do 1.69 and we're going to do 3.88. That's better. And I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. And then we're going to do, copy this, copy. All right. I'm going to take another one of these, put it underneath. And we're going to find out how short these ones are. I'm going to call these a square. So on this, we're going to go height the same, 1.69. That is wrong. Not 31.69, 1.69. All right. We're going to copy this over. And just for fun, I'm going to line them up the same way. They're lined up on the kit for ease of reference. Okay. Then we have the squares in the middle. Right. And of course, sorry. That's what my screen is looking like. That's what my screen is looking like. As I said, I will forget to swap these over all the time. So you can just bear with me as I forget to show you what I'm working on. .04 by 3.04. So let's create. I'm going. Oh, let me show you. Let me show you what I'm doing. I'm going to create something here. And we're gonna call this 3.04 by 3.04. And we've got 2 of those. So I'm going to copy these. I'm going to paste them down here. And then we've got 2 of these. Ken says, I really need to set up my Silhouette vinyl cutter again. They are incredibly handy tools to have because you can create your own stuff on the fly like this. All right. Okay. So there is our pattern for blah 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 for the Arboretum windows. Let's take this, copy it. Oh, nope. Select all, copy. We're gonna paste it over here. And just for the fun of it, we are going to, if I can find it. I'm looking. Where's my little tool to do this? Object. Mirror flip. Flip horizontally. There we go. All right. So, am I missing a third column? No, I am not, because on the kit, it's 3, 2, 2. I can show you better if I turn it around this way. That's what it looks like. All right. And let's send. Oh, I gotta put the vinyl roll back in. So give me one moment to do that. And actually, before I do, I always forget to do this, but I found this is very important to do. I'm going to label the back of these so I know what they are. This is window, the upper saucer. Windows main. That way, I know when there's just a strip of random masks, I know what they are. So I've got to grab the roll here, roll of vinyl, put it in on the machine. One moment. Okay, don't know if you could hear that or not, but the vinyl is in there. This one should not take too long to cut. So let's go back to the software screen here, and we're going to send. And again, I like to cut these at a slow speed. All right, everything looks good. You can see the little preview. Looks like an Arboretum window. Let's send. All right. So we'll let that cut there, and I can check with the chat see what's going on. We got a thumbs up from Todd after answering that question. I'm gonna swap saucer tops here. Because I'll need a saucer top with filled in windows. Because these are all nicely filled in. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything in the chat. On the real chat screen, nope, everything looks good. And with that, it is done. All right, let me go grab that. Actually, I'm gonna need to go toss this big saucer piece back over here. Let me bring desk view back up once I find my mouse. Desk view, that's not desk view. There's desk view. Okay. Really wish I would have reinstalled that cutter before the stream. Oh well. It is what it is, what it is. But I've got nice grid lines on here, so I can line this up and cut it kind of straight, which is helpful for feeding it back into the machine. Apparently I didn't cut it overly straight last time. That's fine. Danny's in the chat. Good evening, Danny, or good stupid o'clock in the morning to you. It's 9:47 p.m. here, so I hate to think what crazy time in the morning it is for you. All right. Now, there was a defect, a little bad spot in the vinyl. You can see it there, and it's right on one of the spots. But I'm not laying down the masks yet. I'm just testing to make sure that they are the right size, so that's not a problem. All right. All right, Danny, well, for however long you're here, thank you for being here. And as soon as you head out, have a good night. Oh, and PJ Lewis says that it is 2:47 in the morning where you are. Yeah, crazy. I will not be up at 2:47 in the morning. I've got to work in the morning, so all right. Let's grab the saucer top again. One of the more challenging aspects of working on this kit is simply managing the size of the kit on my workspace. So, since the right side of this is in better shape, let's use those masks for testing. All right. So this is the first section here. And looks like we've got success on the first section. Let me grab one of the small little bits. Looks like that's the right size. And let me grab one of the big bits. All right. Let me see if I can bring this to where you can see it. But as you can see, I think we got those pretty much right on first go. Things are going way too smoothly. Famous last words, I suppose. But yeah, all right. So I'm just going to remove these for now because, oh, you know what? Let's just leave them on. Because I am going to be ready to go. This has been washed. It's just been re-washed today. Oh, but I've got some seam work to do up here. Oh well, if I want to take them off, I'll take them off. I'm not going to put any more. Danny says, helps when you're not working on windows as big as a hair, Andrew. Yeah, some of the windows on some of the kits are really small. That's why on the well, let me grab something to compare here. Okay, let me clear Danny's chat off of here. So there's the 1400. There's windows on the 1400. And they're not all cleaned out yet. Most of them on here are. But for this size of windows, I will fill after I paint. And I'll fill them with microcrystal clear after all the paint is done. These are just way too small to deal with masks and what? Masks and whatever. Anyway, they're just way too small to worry about that. I will fill them in once it's all done with microcrystal clear. Do the same thing with the Enterprise E's. That's why the Enterprise E's that are fully assembled have no windows in them. They'll be filled at the end. All right. So far we have, let me throw this over here. Parts management is a pain on kits this big. All right, so this is successful. So we're gonna save this one. We're gonna save it in the same folder. Where is it here? Window masks. We'll call this Arbor, whatever it's called. Arboretum. And I'll just do Arbor. Since I don't know how to fully spell Arboretum. Arbor Windows 01. Those are saved, and they'll be transferred to the master cutting sheet. Is the 1400 worth getting? Well, that is personal opinion. There we go. One, what do you have room for? Two, how long do you want the project to take? And three, what's your budget? Because if you don't have a lot of space, the 1400 is definitely worth getting. It's better than the 2500. If you don't have the space, it's definitely worth it. if you don't have the budget for the big one, because the Don Choco you can't get anymore unless you are really, really lucky to get it on the secondary market. You just can't get it. And the Helios one, I don't know. They've done 3 runs of it already. I don't know if they're going to do another one. They might if there's enough interest, but I know they don't want to garner the ire of Paramount CBS either. So they have to be really careful about how many of them they produce. But so what I would say is, unless you're going to hold out for the chance of round 2 producing a commercially available 1000 scale kit, the 1400 is worth getting. And right now is a good time to get it because they've just re-released it in the same kind of translucent white plastic that the Voyager was released in. Which means it's translucent for light to go through. So if you want to go the route of scraping windows once you're done, you can do that. But it's also not brittle like the crystal clear Enterprise D is, because the water clear Enterprise D is quite brittle. So the advantage to the milky white being a little softer is that if you want to, which is what I would do, is you can open up all the windows. So it's a translucent kit, and light will transfer, but I think that it's better results clearing out the windows and filling them in. So I think it's worth getting. I mean, like any kit, there are issues. Excuse me. Like any kit, there are issues that you have to work through. There's lots of corrections you can make to make it more accurate, but yeah, worth getting. Let's see. Danny says, Andrew, are you going to cover those staircase openings, vents on the back of the bridge area? They are not supposed to be open. Yes, I'm going to cover those. I might get to that tonight if we get all the windows, all the window masks designed that I want to. I'm just going to slap a piece of styrene behind there and close that up. It's going to be the easiest way. Ken is letting me know how to spell Arboretum. Thank you. And we have Ian in the chat. Welcome to the stream, Ian. And now everybody's saying hello to Ian. So say hello, Ian. Hello, Ian. There we go. All right. So if you have just recently joined and you're not quite sure what I'm doing tonight, I am making window masks for the 650 scale Enterprise D. So far we have, I have made window masks for the main upper saucer windows. And I have made, let me switch back to bench view here. So I have made masks for all of these windows. And I have made masks now for the Arboretum windows, and they're coming out really well. I'm shocked that they're coming out the right size first go. So might just be getting lucky on that tonight. We shall see. All right, I think again. I need bigger benches. I think we are going to go for these big windows up here. Now, I'm going to take my glasses off because I think we've got 2 different sizes of windows on just this row right here. I wish I had a closer cam that I could show you, but I don't. So I will have to do the whole thing where I put the keyboard on the stool behind me, and I lift this up to the camera. So we're looking at positioning. There we go. So the row of big windows, and you can see that the 6 in the middle are a little bit shorter than the 2 on the end, and they might actually be a little bit narrower. So, and we're going to do those windows that are just, where's my finger? We're going to do these windows that are just under there as well. So those are the next windows I want to tackle, and these ones have a little bit of an interesting shape to it. So let's see. Ian says, that thing is massive and awesome. It's gonna be nice when it's done. I'm kind of thinking that if I could swing bringing one of these to Wonderfest when it's done, so that people can actually see it completed, that would be cool. But that I will have to talk to my clients and see if they are willing to let me take it. One, my Belgium client has been waiting on his Enterprise D for quite a while, because we started with the Don Choco D, and then we paused that when we found out that Helios was going to be making these, because he upgraded to that. So he's been waiting a while for this, and I want to get this to him as soon as possible. But maybe my BC client will let me take his to show off at Wonderfest. We'll see. Let's see. Ken says, would you ever consider sharing any of your silhouette mask templates you've made? Yeah, any of the masks that I make, I'm quite happy to share those. Since that is my intellectual property, I've created those. I do not mind sharing them. I am not getting into the business of selling masks, so I don't have to worry about that. So yeah, if anybody ever wants any of the masks that I create for the projects I'm working on, I'm quite happy to do that. So, oh yeah, Danny says round 2 will be so happy with you. Well, they already saw this on this on my table at Wonderfest. So and okay, so Jamie knows this kit is out there. JB is known for a while. This kit is out there. He saw this kit at my booth. He saw the saucer parts at my booth. He looked at them. He talked a little bit about it. So I mean, they know it's there. It's not a secret anymore that this kit is out there. So I'm not too worried about it. Maybe I'll take some round 2 finished kits with me. Maybe one of my E clients will let me take it, although I want to get those out of the bench soon. Maybe my D and E client, this is for, will let me take it, and I can put them side by side. Maybe I can get this, and the Don Choco done for Wonderfest and take all 3 and have 3 on display somewhere. Now, if I did that, I would get a table. That would be worth getting a table for. So, for some reason, Ken is saying any more, Ian, and you're looking at a court-martial. I must have missed some conversation there. Danny says, to be fair, they just need to freaking work on that 1000 scale. They promised it to us 3 times now. Yeah, I think that if... I understand it's a lot of money into the tooling, but I also think that if they just did it, if they put the money into it, they did it, I think that they would then just print money selling that kit. If they do a large enough run, that it's available for a while, it doesn't run out right away, I think that they would do really, really well on it. Ken asks, are they actually working on a 1000 scale? Apparently they're working on it. It's just priorities with tooling budgets and that kind of thing. So, let's get these windows measured up. Oh. Let's make sure I'm on 0. So I'm going to do the outer windows first. I'm calling that at 1.6 millimeters. By 11.7 millimeters. Okay, so let's get that designed up first, and then I'll move on to the next batch of windows. Danny says, I think it would outsell their 350. I typed on something. Danny says, I think it would outsell their 350 refit. I don't know about that. Maybe not. Because all the builders who are older than my generation all love the 350 refit. Although, a lot of them never end up finishing their build. Anybody watching who hasn't finished their 350 refit build? Anyone? 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 Hands up in the chat if you're still working on one. All right. And Danny also says, does this kit not have edge rim windows? No, it does not. I can't remember if the top saucer does. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to. And now that I'm questioning that, let me grab some reference. What would be a good reference shot here? Is there a good shot of the edge of the saucer? Kind of looking at tiny thumbnails here. I'm just going to throw this on the bigger screen so I can more easily see. I'm going to turn these into extra large. I'm looking for... And Todd, I'm just in the Christie's auction pictures right now. I'm not in your pictures. Okay. Let me throw this picture up. So that is, and I'm going to pull this up on my screen, nice and large. So there are top windows, and they added windows that more align with the 10 forward windows when they redid it, obviously. Obviously those are not going to be able to be lit on this model because there's no way to get light into those sections, but I will have them represented. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a black coat along the edge, and then I'm going to mask those windows. And then I will build up a little bit of edge, build up a little bit of extra primer layer on the edge there, and that'll build the window frames in there so they'll look right. They won't just look flat. And because all the other windows that I have all around here, because there's going to be a few different layers of paint, we're going to be able to build some recessed windows just through the paint layers, and those are going to look really, really nice. And I want to make sure that any windows that I'm adding here also have those paint layers. So I'll put a bit of black around the edge. I will mask those off, and then I'll do that before I do the main primer coats on this, so that I can get those built up. Let's see. Ken says, Ian, put your hand up. That's in referral probably to the 350 refit. Danny says 350 refit, if they would do another run versus the 1000D run, I know which one would sell more. Danny also says this model was based on the Generations version of the filming model. That one had rim windows on both lower and upper part. Yeah, and we just saw that in the Christie's auction. I've just learned not to assume anything and just go right to the resources to check them. Danny also says, now that I know it does have those on such big of a model, I wouldn't even get one on a second run. No excuse. Well, the reason they're not there, Danny, is because of the way the bottom saucer goes into the top saucer. So there's absolutely no option for light to get down in here the way that the kit is designed. And I like the way the saucer assembly is done here because, let me see if you can see this here. The sensor band is fully part of the upper kit. That's one of the annoyances of the Shoko D, that it joins at the sensor band, and you also have to like ride this thing on a belt sander. Like you really have to ride that saucer top on the belt sander to get all the extra material down, and it is so difficult. It is so difficult to get that to be flat all the way around and sit properly. I am happy that we don't have to worry about that on this kit. Ian says, hand pinky waving. Yeah, on the 350 refit. Danny says, yeah, just be smarter about the design. That's what I meant with no excuse. Bigger means you have more room for detail. Just bigger is not a reason for me to go bigger. Yeah. Like I wouldn't have probably put the money out for this kit if I was just building it for myself. But I love building big ships, and so I'm really happy that I've got the opportunity to do so. All right, what was I doing? I was doing these windows, wasn't I? Yes. All right. Let me get back to that. So I will close out the picture because it's still on my silhouette screen here. And I shall go back to the silhouette screen. We're going to do a new document. Oh, I need a keyboard, don't I? All right, let me get the saucer out of the way. Let me get my keyboard back. All right, let's zoomy. We're gonna do rectangle. Going to turn off the lock, aspect ratio lock, and we're going to make this thing 1.6 millimeters wide. And just to be clear, I am working in metric. I'm working in millimeters, and this is going to be 11.7 long. So that should be. Oh, I accidentally drew a new box there. So that should be the right size. How many do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of those. So I'm going to print up 4 of those. Okay, let's do this the same way we always do it. I like to leave the gap about the same width as the window. I did this wrong. Wow, okay. We'll just shove everything over here. Now I'm going to do 1 extra, just because I can. All right, next window size. All right. Ken says... it just dropped. Yes, Ian, I know you have a full modeling load on your bench. Oh, okay, got it. I see what Ken is saying there. Ian says, I love big ships and I cannot lie. All the shuttle pods can't deny. To be fair, Andrew, they do need to fix that bridge. It is just horrible low quality for a ship of that size and price. I'm gonna guess that here. Let me go big face here for a moment while I go through the rest of this chat here quickly. I'm going to guess that it was probably more well defined before the part went through its cleaning up process. That's going to be my guess. All that detail probably got softened during the processing of the part. And not having those windows is a deal breaker for me. Well, I'm going to add those windows, and actually, if you look at the studio model, those windows on the studio model were simulated as well. So really, by simulating those windows, it's being true to the studio model, and that's what I'm going to, at least that's what I'm going to kind of go on. Jordan is here. Welcome, Jordan. If you, for you and anybody else who's just recently joining, we are creating window masks for the 650 scale Enterprise D tonight. So that's what we are working on. We've got a bunch of them done already, designed and test fitted and everything, and that is what we're doing. And then the rest of the chat is just everybody saying hello to Jordan. So, oh, here, why don't I just do this? So everybody says, can see that Jordan is here. All right. Okay, let me grab the saucer part again. Of course, we're just working with the teeny tiny saucer here. So let's grab that. And okay, so we've got the larger windows on each side of the front here done. Now I need to take measurements of these smaller windows. Glasses off up close. And I don't know if these are the same width. Yeah, so they're the same width. They're going to be just a tiny bit shorter here. .39. Yeah, not shorter by too much, by like 0.21 of a millimeter. So essentially, we can take, there's going to be 6 of those. I'm constantly having to move stuff around just for the space of it. Again, that's the issue with only the 4-foot model had the lit 10 forward and Arboretum. Was the Arboretum not lit on the 650 scale? I mean, on the 650, the 6-foot scale model? Because I'm sure I saw it lit in the opening intro, and that was done with the 6-foot model. But I mean, I say that stuff, and I get proven wrong when I actually go look at the material. So, if Wayne Meany was in the chat, he is kind of the expert on those models. So, yeah. Creating window mask, it's been a wild ride. Thrilling content, right? Thrilling content. So, and Todd says, nope. So, I'd have to go back and look, because I don't trust my memory when it comes to that kind of thing, because I think it's one thing it's not, and half of it's just because there was the 3 different filming models for it, right? So, all right. It's something I need to learn, so I am on board. Oh, very nice. Having the vinyl cutter in the shop is great for being able to just get some stuff taken care of. All right, so we have the 4 of these plus a spare, so we have the nearest spare. Let me just put another one over here, and we're going to just alter the height of that to be 11.39. That's 39. There we go. And it's just a wee little bit shorter. So let's, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more here, because I would like this to be, there we go, it's aligned. That little blue line that showed up tells me it's aligned with the top of those ones. Let's copy this over to get our 6 of them. Not that we really need 6 of them for testing, but might as well. Okay, here we go. that's 5 in there. So that's 6 of them. Okay, next up. Let's see. Ian says he's at Riker's quarters playing poker and drinking Romulan ale. All right, there. Danny says, "Oh, I forgot about the stream you wanted to do with me. Sorry, it's been a busy week." Well, you know what? I didn't think of it till today either. And so I just kind of let it go because I would have had to figure out the whole technical side of it. But we can do that. We can do that another time. But I'm thinking that we probably just want to do a video call just to talk over stuff before we look at doing a stream. So I am not worried. I am not worried. I'm not gonna let simple things bother me. You can forget about things we were gonna do. You can call me by the wrong name. Anything is fine. It's fine. We're good. Let's see. That reminds me. I think that there will also be other window masks available for this kit. So Wayne Meany at Motion Picture Miniatures is doing an Aztec masking set for this, and I am not sure if he's going to do window masks as well. I don't know. And then if you are to believe Philly over at Sprueverse, Philly has a guest arriving, Lou Del Maso, and apparently he's bringing him window masks. So Lou should have window masks for this kit. I don't know if he's going to make them available or not, but yeah, he's definitely making them for himself and for Philly over at Sprueverse. But I want window masks now. So I am making my own window masks because I have the capability of doing it. So I'm quite sure that there are going to be other window masks available. But this is what I'm doing because I've got the ability to do it. I'm not going to buy window masks for somebody when I can just make them myself here. Plus, it's content for the live stream, which is always a good thing. So, all right, let's get the front windows here. And you know what? I'm pretty sure that... Let me go back to the right screen. I'm pretty sure that the windows either side of those angled windows, I'm pretty sure that they're the same size windows as the previous ones we did. So that's just, this is just scrap that can go in the garbage. So let me just test these ones we did earlier. I'm pretty sure these look like they're the same size. And yes. So, I don't know if you can see. Let me grab the flashlight and shine her through. There you can see the one. So yeah, it's pretty much the right size. So those are the same size windows, so that's one less window we have to worry about. And let me just see if these angled ones are the same width. They look like they are, and that's going to save us. They are the same width. So all I need to do is figure out the length of the angles. Sorry. The length of each side, and then angle the bottom of it, and we'll be in good shape. So I'm gonna label these. Oh, that's huge. That's huge font. Where's my font size? Oh, there's my font size. Okay. Let me get this out of the way again. kit management. Okay. So let's go 10 font. That should be good. And we're going to do... I'm on the wrong screen. There we go. Everything's perfect. Flawless. Everything's flawless. It's a flawless stream. Let's go 10. And I can't type. Okay. There we go. So I have to change the font first. I don't type in this very often. So large bottom Windows. Let's just do this. Why won't it let me? Do I have something else on the screen again? I don't think so. I just want to move this. Okay, now it's letting me move it. Let's copy it. There we go. And then we're going to go smaller. Just so I know which one is which. Because I think I already... Did I already... No, I didn't print these out yet. Okay. Let me just cut those and let me get those... I'll label those after I get them printed. I'll label them after I get them printed. That's what I'll do. Let me just get caught up on the chat here. And let me go... Mouse. Let me go full screen while I do that. So Danny says, oh yeah, Phil from Spruverse keeps calling you Andy. Yes, he does. Why? I don't know. Ian says, I'm now in love with Warhammer vehicles. Danny says, I love that guy though. Are you talking about Philly? Or are you talking about Uncle Lou? Todd says, ha ha ha, Philly in exchange for Andy. Yeah. And Ian says, you call him Philly because he called you Andy? Yeah. Ken says, great minds think alike, but fools seldom differ. I have never heard that one before. Yvang says, about doing the windows after paint, why can't you put the UV tape on the paint side after paint? Do you think it will pull off the paint? Just trying to figure out what you're meaning there, Yvang. About doing the windows after paint, why can't you put the UV tape on the paint side after paint? Do you think it will pull off the paint? Well, if you were painting your parts before assembly, I'm sure that you could do that, but I never paint my parts before assembly. I find that if I paint after assembly, all light leaks are dealt with. I don't have to go back through. I don't have to touch up seam work. I don't have to try to get paint to match. I just I eliminate a whole world of problems by doing it that way. So if you're painting all your parts before you assemble, yeah, sure, you could do that. I don't do that, so either the windows need to be filled before assembly, before paint, and then masked, or if they're smaller windows, like on the neck of the 650D, Or on the 1400 scale ships, I would leave those open, do all the painting, and then just fill them in with microcrystal clear after the fact. So, let's see. Todd says I call Lou Louie, and he made a face like his dog died. All right, so don't call Uncle Lou Uncle Louie. And Yvang says, that makes sense. Yeah. Hopefully that helps. All right, where are we? We are on the little angled windows, aren't we? So let me get rid of that. Let me go back to the bench. Let me bring the part back. And I need to know the left and right sides of this thing. Okay, so the long side we're going to say is 4.91. 4.91 long. And we're going to do... We're going to say that's 4.02. 4.02 short. Okay. Swap everything around again. Put the saucer back. Grab the keyboard. Switch over to the software. That is not the software. That is the software. There we go. And we're going to go to upper saucer and main. We're going to grab a copy of one of these windows. We're going to bring it in here. And I need to do this, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I'm going to need to do this. Okay, this might have been easier just to start this one from scratch, but let's do this. I'm just going to do a workaround here. So height, we're going to do 4.91. We're going to do the higher height. Then we're going to copy this. We're going to put this right beside, and we're going to make the height of this one 4.02. And then we're going to make this match up here. Then we're going to go back to the first one, use this little tool here called Edit Points. And we're going to, I think, zoom in even more just so I can be 100% sure what I'm doing. I'm just going to drag this up, making sure that I keep it all aligned. That looks good. Looks good. Get rid of this. Copy this over. And we're gonna do our object mirror horizontal. Okay, all things being equal, this should fit on the part. So that is all the windows we need for this. Let's zoom out, see what we've got. All right, and before I forget, let's save this as large saucer windows, large upper saucer, up saucer windows front. Okay, I need to put the vinyl back in the cutter. Oh, I'll check the chat after I do that. If I make masks on stream again sometime, I'm going to have to make sure that I find a way of showing the machine on camera. I just don't have enough camera set up right now to be able to show the machine. So we're going to send this to the printer. We're going to do this on slow again. It's vinyl matte. Everything looks good. Let's send that to the dot matrix. And while the dot matrix is going, I'm going to check on the chat here. And I might as well make my face big again. Alright, so where did I leave off? Okay, I think I left off with Yvang. And then, no, it's just Danny. Danny says, well, I mean, Uncle Lou is Uncle Lou. Gotta love that guy. Really feels like watching my uncle hobbying away. Love watching Philly as well. He did a great job on that 350 Bird of Prey paint job. I haven't seen that yet, so I'll have to go take a look at that. This should not take too long. And it's done. All right. So I'll get that off the machine. Get it cut off the roll. Yes, the Silhouette does have a cutter. No, it's just not installed right now. I uninstalled it because it was jamming on me. And I meant to reinstall it and test it out, but I just haven't gone around to it yet, so I'm chopping this off the roll the good old-fashioned way. All right, let me load this back in the machine before I forget. All right. Ian says your piano concerto was fantastic. Well, thank you. The First Contact theme is probably my favorite of the movie themes. Actually, probably my favorite of the Star Trek themes overall. This might be a controversial opinion, but my second favorite Star Trek theme is from 2009. I thought the opening theme for that was really well done. It was a good piece of music. But I'm not playing that on piano right now. That looks like a fit. Let's check. So the larger of the two are on. Let me check. I think putting the masks on could be a live stream in and of itself. Let's see. Jordan says same. 2009 is great. Danny says mine too. That piece from First Contact was just epic. Yeah. And Trey Chester says, nope, nothing about 2009 is good, period. And that's why I said it could be a controversial opinion. And you know what? It's just my opinion that the music for it was good. And other people may have an opinion that it's not good. And that's fine. All right. So we've got... I don't know what's wrong. because everything that I've tested out has fit perfectly first time. That's not supposed to happen on live stream. Things are supposed to be mysteriously wrong and make everybody think that I don't know what I'm doing. All right, angle pieces fit perfectly as well. Danny says, "What was in 2009? The first of the J.J. Abrams movies." Ken's Hobby Bench says, "Sure, it wasn't 2020." I don't think there was a movie out in 2020. The other one was the last of the three has been a while already. Let's see. PJ says, "Getting things right first time, Andrew, means that you're that good." I'm just getting lucky here with everything working out properly. Let's see. Yvang said, "Okay, just listen to you play the First Contact theme. That was great. Were you playing from memory or reading the music?" That was I mean I've heard the theme countless times, so I just kind of listened to it again, checked to see what key it was in, and made sure that I got the chord progressions correct, and then I just did it. I can read music, I can play by ear, I can do both. So so that one, no, I don't have any sheet music for it. So, and Danny says those JJ movies never happened. Well, they never happened if you're in the Prime universe. All right. So, I think I have time to deal with one more set of windows. So let me get out of... I'm just going to create a new sheet here. You don't need to see me make a new sheet on screen. We're going to do... I think we're going to do... So, oh, Danny, yes. So if you're referring to these sections here, I don't know why they've been made open on here, because they're not supposed to be. Like light just like bleeds through there. I am going to cover those over on the bottom just with some sheet styrene to make that correct. Okay. All right, let's see. I'm going to do these around here. I don't really know what they are. Have to go to the technical manual to find out if they're windows or if they're something else, but we're going to treat them like windows. And these windows are going to be... I think I can really thank the caliper for these things being correct first time. So 4.64 watt, 4.64 tall by calling that at 1.13 wide. 1.13 wide. Okay. Okay. Spec swap again. Oh, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 28. We will need 28 of these whenever we print up how many ever we are going to print up on the dot matrix printer. All right, let's go back here. Trey says 2009 marked the end of real Star Trek. And Danny says Discovery was absolutely horrible and the new follow-up looks absolutely terrible. I'm sure Roddenberry would absolutely not have this. It goes against everything he stood for. I I don't. Yeah, it would definitely be counter to Gene Roddenberry's kind of ethos for Star Trek in a lot of regards. There's a lot about some of the new Trek that I don't like, but it's Trek. I'm gonna watch it. All right, what are we doing? We're doing windows. We're doing windows. We're making rectangles. We are making rectangles. So let's do a little zoomy here. Start out with a rectangle like that, and we are gonna make it. What did I say? This is width. So 1.13 by 4.64. I did that wrong. I changed its position and not its size. 4.6. That's going to be 14. 4.64. 1.13. Okay, there we go. So this should be the size we need for that section. Now we're going to do our... let me make it a little bit bigger. Zoomy, 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 zoomy. Danny says, stopped watching Discovery in season 3. We'll watch nothing more of that line of Trek and wish I could get my time back watching. Yeah. Discovery, I think, was better once it got out of the time frame it was in. Honestly, if they wanted to do what they did with Discovery, my personal opinion is they should have just started 1,000 years beyond. Then they could have done anything they wanted to do. Trying to pinhole it in the Kirk Spock era was not, and do everything the way they did it. So pinpointing it in the Kirk Spock era and doing everything that they wanted to do with it and redesigning everything and making everything visually inconsistent, I think that was a mistake. They should have put it in the far future, and then they could have done anything they wanted to. Honestly, though, as far as like design changes and stuff like that, they can literally do anything they want to. Just make it part of the story so that we get a reason for it, right? Don't just try to gaslight us and say, oh, it was always supposed to be this way. But again, that's just my opinion. All right. So how many did I say? I think we... Let's try that again. I think I said we need 28 of these. So 2, 4, 5. Then this will be... Oh, I need to... Weird. I need to hold it. If I want it to snap to the last one made... Can you see everything on... Can you see everything there? So if I want it to snap... I need to hold it, like I can't hold the grouping way over here. I have to hold it close to the item I want it to snap to. Some really weird functionality there. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That'll give us our 20. See, it won't snap unless I hold it here. Bring it up here, get rid of that. And so that's 20, and then I'll just put another 10 in here, and that'll give us a little bit of bonus. Some to play with. All right. Let's scroll out. Let's get rid of that extra on the end. Okay. So I've got the printer, I've got the cutter already loaded with the vinyl, so I don't have to scoot over there. So let's send her over. Let's send her over there, bud. Let's make that speed 1. Bring the microphone down so you can hear me over the dot matrix. And let's send her here, bud. Okay. Ken says, tell us how you really feel. Danny. Danny says detached nacelles, really, and in addition a super thin plot line that felt like even the writer had no clue on where they were going to go with it. I would watch Star Trek Legacy, yeah? I'll watch any of the Star Trek. There's Star Trek I like a lot more than other Star Trek, but I'll watch it. Which reminds me, if anybody can get me a copy of Prodigy Season 2, I've been trying to avoid any spoilers online because we cannot get it in Canada. We cannot get it. So if anybody has it and could send it my way, that would be greatly appreciated, because I otherwise cannot see it. Danny says, pouring my heart out here, Ken. Captain Xiaomang, welcome. Says, I mean, Picard brought a lot of new ships that I definitely liked, like the Excelsior 2, Stargazer 2, and the USS Intrepid. And Trey says the Abrams Kurtzman Star Trek does not even qualify as fan fiction. It's all absolute trash, including Picard Season 3. Well, again, there's the Trek some people are going to like. There's Trek other people will not like. There's Trek I like a lot better than other Trek. And there's things I would do a whole lot differently if I had billions of dollars to spend on buying out the Star Trek franchise than what they're currently doing. But, as I said, I watch it. Alright, that's done printing. Let me go get that, and we'll see how it all fits. Oh, the piano piece earlier. If anybody's interested in on the copyright side of that, so I knew it would be flagged as copyright, and that there we go. I knew it would be flagged as copyright. Literally within seconds of uploading it, it was flagged as copyright, which I mean is fine. It just means that it's revenue share on my channel, so revenue is shared to some degree between me and the copyright owners, which is fine. But yeah, like within 30 seconds of hitting upload and it being uploaded, the YouTube algorithm copyright algorithm bots or whatever caught it, flagged it, and immediately labeled it for copyright. It's not a copyright strike, it's just it qualifies for shared revenue. So in case anybody was interested how that all worked out, that's how it all worked out, which I was fully anticipating. I'm gonna go load this back in and I'll be right back. I don't know if I've mentioned this or not, but having that, having the vinyl cutter in shop is invaluable. It's like you can't measure how valuable that is. It's so incredibly handy having that. The one thing I would like to do, and it's not going to happen. Oh, is there anything on this? One thing I would like to do is get into white printing, so I can white print my own decals. But that's going to be a costly endeavor to get into, so I'm going to have to get all the projects off the bench before I can get into that. I'm going to have these. I'm going to have the decals for this printed by somebody who does it professionally within our community. So I think that's going to be another live stream soon. Is finishing up the decal artwork for this. I am thinking that I'm going to paint as much of the markings on these as well, though. So, but I'm going to have all the markings done up properly with decals, and I may try to paint as much as I can paint, but I want to have the decals available as well for backup. All right, see if this fits. Well, we got this far at least without any missizing on the cuts, and fortunately this piece fits perfectly as well. So and we are coming up to 11 o'clock Eastern time, so that is going to be the last piece that I'm creating tonight. But I am amazed that every window that I've created a mask for tonight, the mask has fit perfectly first time. That's the benefit of those digital calipers. So just to review, I have created window masks so far for all these regular sized windows. I've created them for the Arboretum windows, and they all fit. I've done all the large and strange shaped windows up front, and then I just did the ones for this line here. And again, I am absolutely amazed that that they all fit. Yeah, so if you are if you have this kind of thing, I mean, not necessarily the 650, but I mean, if you're building like sci-fi kits where you're needing random masks for things, and you either don't want to buy a whole mask set from somebody, or it's just a couple things you want to do it, really, getting a Cameo. I've got the Cameo 4, they've got the Cameo 5 now. It comes bundled with the cutting software, where you can kind of design all the things that you need to cut. There's also, you can upgrade to a Pro version so that you can import things that you've designed in, say, Inkscape or Illustrator. So you can import all that kind of stuff into the Pro version. I don't have the Pro version. I haven't needed to use it yet. I'm not spending money on it if I don't need it. But the Pro version allows you to import those files, and they'll immediately make them into the cutting, what the cutter needs in order to do it. So having the machine, having the software that comes with the machine, it has done me so well on just being able to get some masks designed that I need to do, that haven't done any crazy like Aztec masks or anything like that, but I've been doing simple things, and it has saved me so much time, effort, hassle, the whole deal. It's been really good to have. And I did all that just in this 2-hour stream, which I'm sure that if I wasn't talking and describing and stuff, I could do it faster. But that's the point of being on stream, hanging out and chatting and talking and getting the feedback. So yeah, if you've got these kind of applications, I would seriously suggest prioritizing on your next round of equipment upgrades, prioritizing getting yourself something like the Silhouette Cameo 4, something similar that allows you to do this, because it is so worth doing. Let's see. Let me put this over here. Grab my keyboard and just finish off with the chat here. Where did we leave off? Captain Shalamang says, if I had the money and did not get whatever, I make a series on either the Enterprise B or Enterprise C. I feel we are long overdue to learn more on the Lost Era. I would love to see some stuff from the Lost Era. Danny says, Picard Season 3 was acceptable, but also way too thin of a storyline. And by the way, what was up with the Enterprise D flying through that Borg ship as if it was the Millennium Falcon? Eye candy? That's my best guess. You notice it wasn't Troy driving, right? Bad things happen when Troy drives. Let's see. Robert says, the way I look at all Trek is infinite diversity and infinite combinations. Danny says, those ships are supposed to behave like big naval vessels, not fighter jets. True. However, the reason why they moved in big lumbering ways in TNG in those eras is because you couldn't get that effect with the studio model. It's only now with the advancements in the CG stuff that they could pull off those maneuvers. So I'm sure that if they could have, when TNG was on, they would have. But they couldn't, so they didn't. Danny says, Captain, I fully agree with Enterprise B or C stories. Yes, and yes, I would love to see that. And bring back the Monster Maroon, but bring back the right version of it. Because the Monster Maroon from the movies looks so much better, in my opinion, than the remake for Strange New Worlds. So, let's see. All right. Jordan says, thanks, Andrew. That was a great stream. Just more talk about new Trek versus old. And Ken says, I'll definitely set up my vinyl cutter again. Yeah, like it's if you've got one, it is so good to have. And Danny says, doesn't matter, it's canon. Gene literally described the behavior of those ships as naval vessels. Yeah, I hear ya. All right. It has its charm. Get Delta Flyer for the madness flying. Only if Tom is driving. But it is 11:02. That's going to be it from me tonight. I need to finish off so that I can be up at a decent time in the mornings because I work. So thank you everyone for joining me. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure to hit the like button. If you're new to my channel or haven't done so yet, why not hit that subscribe button today? You'll make me very happy if you do. But for now, my name is Andrew. This is Canadian Starships live stream. I will be back here next week, all things being equal. 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So I will be here doing something, probably on the Enterprise D, maybe on the Enterprise E. We shall see where I get in the week. But have a great night, everybody.